Công ty chúng tôi có những dịch vụ buôn bán bảo hiểm 50 tỷ bang, cho vay bất động sản cơ sở thương mại 50 tỷ bang, mua bán nhà cửa ở California. Nếu quý vị cần đến dịch vụ, xin gọi điện thoại 925 595 5605. Email là vimxmy@gmail.com. Cảm ơn. Trump đã chọn dân biểu Matt Gaetz. Ông là một luật sư mà cũng bị đảng Dân Chủ nó đàn áp dữ lắm, để làm Bộ trưởng Tư pháp của Hoa Kỳ. Matt Gaetz sẽ là tổng trưởng lý trong chính quyền Trump thứ hai. Gaetz đã chấm dứt chính phủ vũ trang bảo vệ biên giới của chúng ta, giải thể các tổ chức tội phạm và khôi phục niềm tin tưởng đã bị phá vỡ nghiêm trọng của người Mỹ bảo hộ tư pháp. Trump đã viết trên bài nền tảng xã hội Truth Social của mình. Gaetz 42 tuổi là đại diện cho quận Quốc hội số 1 của Florida tại Hạ viện Hoa Kỳ từ năm 2017. Kể từ khi tham gia chính trường, Gaetz đã liên kết mình với phong cách dân túy của Trump, thường chỉ trích giới chính trị, kể cả trong chính đảng của ông. Sẽ là sự vinh dự được phục vụ với tư cách tổng trưởng lý của Tổng thống Trump, Gaetz đã viết trên nền tảng xã hội X. Trump đã ca ngợi Gaetz là vì vạch trần với tư cách là thành viên của Ủy ban Tư pháp Hạ viện và các chi tiết về cuộc điều tra khét tiếng về chiến dịch tranh cử đầu tiên của Trump được thúc đẩy bởi hồ sơ Steele khét tiếng. Trump mô tả Gaetz là một luật sư tài năng và kiên trì, người đã chứng tỏ mình trong Quốc hội thông qua việc tập trung vào việc đạt được các cải cách rất cần thiết tại Bộ Tư pháp. Trump chọn lựa Tulsi Gabbard làm giám đốc tình báo quốc gia. Là hai người này là mình nghĩ là làm rất là tốt. Tổng thống Trump đã lựa chọn bà cựu dân biểu tiểu bang Hạ Uy Di của đảng Dân Chủ là Tulsi Gabbard làm giám đốc tình báo của Hoa Kỳ. Trước kia là cơ quan giống như là FBI đó, cơ quan FBI đó. Đây là một chức vụ rất là quan trọng. Tổng thống Donald Trump đã chọn cựu dân biểu Tulsi Gabbard làm ứng cử viên cho vị trí giám đốc tình báo quốc gia trong chính quyền sắp tới của ông. Tôi vui mừng được thông báo rằng cựu dân biểu trung tá Tulsi Gabbard sẽ đảm nhiệm chức vụ giám đốc tình báo quốc gia DNA trong 2 thập niên. Tulsi đã chiến đấu với đất nước của chúng ta và tự do tất cả cho người Mỹ. Trump cho biết trong một tuyên bố báo chí, nhóm vận động tranh cử của ông chia sẻ vào ngày 13 tháng 11. Văn phòng Giám đốc Tình báo Quốc gia giám sát cộng đồng tình báo Hoa Kỳ Gabbard đã nhập lực lượng vệ binh quốc gia Hạ Uy Di vào năm 2003 và chuyển sang lực lượng dự bị lục quân vào năm 2020. Hiện bà giữ cấp bậc trung tá. Gabbard được phục vụ tại Quốc hội với tư cách là đại diện của đảng Dân Chủ cho Hạ Uy Di năm 2013 đến năm 2021. Bà cũng đã tranh cử đề cử tổng thống của đảng Dân Chủ trong cuộc bầu cử sơ bộ năm 2020, nhưng đã để thua ứng cử viên Joe Biden. Bà đã chia tay với đảng Dân Chủ để ủng hộ Tổng thống Trump trong cuộc chạy đua vào Bạch Cung năm 2024 của ông vào tháng 8. Và Trump chọn Rubio, người theo chủ nghĩa diều hâu lâu năm với Trung Cộng, làm Bộ trưởng Ngoại giao. 6 điều cần biết về Kristi Noem, người được Trump đề cử làm Bộ trưởng An ninh Nội địa. 6. Là một ứng cử viên cho đề cử tổng thống của đảng Dân Chủ, bà ấy nhận được sự ủng hộ rộng rãi từ cả hai đảng. Bà ấy hiện là một đảng viên Cộng Hòa đang tự hào. Trump tuyên bố: tôi biết Tulsi sẽ mang tinh thần không sợ hãi, đã định sự nghiệp lấy lừng của bà đến cộng đồng tình báo của chúng ta, bảo vệ quyền hiến pháp của chúng ta và bảo vệ hòa bình thông qua sức mạnh. Tulsi sẽ kiểm soát tất cả, chúng ta tự hào. Thông báo được đưa ra một ngày sau khi Trump bổ nhiệm John Ratcliffe để làm tổng giám đốc CIA theo của mình. Ratcliffe từng giữ chức vụ DNI trong nhiệm vụ kỳ đầu tiên của Trump giữ chức vụ này từ tháng 3 năm 2020 đến tháng Giêng 2021. Đây là bản tin nóng hổi sẽ được cập nhật. Đây là một số người trong 27 người trong hội đồng nội các của ông Trump, thì bây giờ có 8 người và thật sự là lên được 10 người rồi. Cái này trước khi có hai nhân vật mới. Phó tổng thống là ông J.D. Vance, quý vị cũng biết rồi. Chánh văn phòng là bà Susie Wells. Đại diện cho Mỹ ở Liên Hiệp Quốc ở Nữ Ước là bà Alice Stephanie, và ông Lee Zeldin là thư ký, ông là thư ký giám đốc về vấn đề năng lượng. Rồi cái giám đốc của cơ quan tình báo trung ương của Hoa Kỳ CIA là ông cựu bộ trưởng của cơ quan tình báo liên bang Hoa Kỳ là ông John Ratcliffe. Rồi cái ông mà bộ trưởng, ông này là mới nhất, bộ trưởng về quốc phòng. Ông này là đang làm cho Fox bình luận của Fox là ông là coi về quốc phòng, ông Pete Hegseth. Và cái người mà an ninh bộ nội an là bà đương kim thống đốc của tiểu bang Dakota là Kristen Noel. Và cái người mà mới bổ nhiệm vô là ông Matt Gaetz, đương kim dân biểu tiểu bang ở Florida làm bộ trưởng tư pháp, cũng như bà Tulsi Gabbard là giám đốc của cơ quan tình báo trung ương Hoa Kỳ là FBI đó. Thì đó tất cả là 10 người, và tổng cộng cái bộ nội các của ông tổng thống Trump nó sẽ có gồm khoảng 27 người. Tất nhiên là 10 người rồi, còn 17 người nữa. Và quý vị cũng biết 11 giờ sáng hôm nay ông Trump cũng đến gặp ông Joe Biden ở Bạch Cung lúc 11 giờ, và bà Jill Biden, vợ của ông tổng thống Joe Biden, cũng mời bà vợ tổng thống của ông Donald Trump. Nhưng mà vợ tổng thống Donald Trump bà còn hay giận bà Biden là lý do là bà không có nhận lời là ông Joe Biden đưa người đến khám xét cái dinh thự Mar-a-Lago, là lục nơi cái quần đồ lót rồi của bà luôn. Thành ra bà không nhận lời uống trà với lại bà Jill Biden. Donald Trump bà không có chịu tới. Sắp sửa tới đây là bên Quốc hội sẽ họp báo công bố những cái việc làm của Quốc hội tại Hạ viện đó sẽ như thế nào, và tuyên bố là đa số. Thì mình đang chờ cuộc họp báo, mà nãy giờ thì chưa có xong, mình sẽ nói tiếp. Tổng thống Trump đã đề cử thêm 4 người vào hội đồng nội các của ông. Hôm thứ Tư, Tổng thống đắc cử Donald Trump đã chính thức công bố 4 thành viên đội ngũ nhân viên Bạch Cung sắp tới của mình. Dan Scavino, cố vấn cao cấp của chiến dịch tranh cử của Trump, sẽ trở lại Bạch Cung với tư cách là trợ lý của Tổng thống và phó chánh văn phòng. James Blair làm trợ lý của Tổng thống và phó chánh văn phòng, phụ trách các vấn đề lập pháp, chính trị và công cộng. Và Taylor Bovin sẽ làm trợ lý của Tổng thống và phó chánh văn phòng, phụ trách truyền thông và nhân sự. Blair là giám đốc chính trị của chiến dịch Ủy ban Quốc gia Cộng Hòa, còn Bobovich giữ vai trò cấp cao trong Ủy ban hành động chính trị lãnh đạo của Trump, Save American, và làm giám đốc điều hành của Ủy ban hành động chính trị siêu cấp ủng hộ Trump, MAGA Incorporated. Trump cũng xác nhận rằng Stephen Miller sẽ trở lại Nhà Trắng với tư cách là trợ lý của Tổng thống và phó chánh văn phòng, cố vấn chính sách của an ninh của nội địa. Dan Stephen, James và Taylor là những cố vấn xuất sắc nhất trong chiến dịch giành chiến thắng của tôi, và tôi biết họ sẽ phục vụ người dân Mỹ một cách danh dự tại Bạch Cung. Trump viết trong một tuyên bố họ sẽ tiếp tục làm việc chăm chỉ để đưa đất nước Mỹ vĩ đại trở lại trong các vai trò mới của họ. Đây là cuộc họp báo của Hạ viện Hoa Kỳ của đảng Cộng Hòa để công bố hành trình để làm việc, cũng như là tuyên bố đa số của đảng Cộng Hòa ở Hạ viện.
Leadership team, I'm proud to serve alongside each one of you. They bring unique talents and backgrounds and will strengthen our team going forward. Listen, we ran our last campaigns based on the issues that mattered to the American people. The Democrats, under the extreme leadership of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Hakeem Jeffries in the House, made every American less prosperous and less safe. And so our candidates went out and talked about those issues. We talked about energy. We talked about inflation. We talked about the border. We talked about the crime and fentanyl that come from that. And we told the American people our idea is to fix it. and they gave us a mandate. And so together with President Trump and a Republican Senate, we're going to start delivering on that on day one. Thank you. I'll now bring up our great whip, Mr. Tom Emmer.
Thank you, brother. Thanks, yeah. Thanks, Richard. I first want to say thank you to my House Republican colleagues for electing me to serve as their majority whip once again. It's a privilege and a responsibility I do not take lightly. We treat the whip office like a customer service office. We are here to serve our members and the people they represent. We don't take anyone or any vote for granted, and we will continue building a culture of teamwork, communication, and respect to deliver more wins on behalf of the American people. Now that we have our leadership team in place, it's time to suit up and get to work. President Trump delivered the greatest political comeback in American history based on his proven record and promise to make this country great again. Voters also gave him a Republican Senate and a Republican House to help him do it. So now it's our turn. It's our turn to make good on the priorities we've been campaigning on for the last 2 years by passing legislation to make life more affordable for all Americans, secure our borders, unleash American energy, restore our dominance on the world stage, and lower taxes for hard-working families. We've got the team, the work ethic, and the plan to do it. Now, with the trifecta in hand, we stand ready and united behind President Trump to deliver on his American First agenda once and for all. As the 118th Congress proved, it may not always be smooth sailing, and we may have some disagreements along the way, but I've always been a firm believer that there's more that unites us than divides us. And so long as we work together as a team, I have no doubt we will seize the opportunity in front of us and put our country on a better path for generations to come. With that, I'll turn it over to our great majority leader, Steve Scalise.
Thank you, Whip. And I, too, want to thank our new members of this really strong, unified leadership team, and Kevin Hearn and Aaron Houchin, and our new conference chair, Lisa McClain. We're really excited about the selections that our conference made today. We are going to miss Elise Stefanik, and she served our conference so well for so many years as our conference chair, but there are bigger things ahead for Elise. And we know that President Trump is going to benefit tremendously from Elise being the UN ambassador. The world is going to see what we've all known is she's a strong leader and is going to, I think, really do a great job of representing America's values and views in Trump's foreign policy at the United Nations, where it is so desperately needed. If you think about how we started this morning, we had President Trump come talk to us about what is ahead in this unified government. You know, we went all around the country, and I was in every swing district. I got to campaign with President Trump himself, and you could see the energy around the country. You know, when President Trump talked about the things he would do to make America great again, it's not just a tagline on a hat. It's what we're going to do to secure America's border. It's how we're going to lower food costs and energy costs for those families who are struggling across this country, who have been clamoring for somebody to hear their plight, and President Trump did. And he did it in every corner of the nation. He won every swing state because he had a message that was focused on those hardworking families who are struggling. And they responded by giving us this overwhelming mandate. And we are already working to deliver on that promise. We're excited about this opportunity for the American people to go and fight to get those policies put in place now that will lower their food costs and lower their energy costs and secure the border, working with President Trump to deliver a better America. And I am proud to say that the leader of that effort here in this new Republican majority, who was elected today unanimously by our members to be the Speaker of the House again, marshaling through this effort, is our Speaker today and our Speaker tomorrow, Mike Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you all for being here again. It is a new day in America. Yesterday morning, we began on the steps of the House as everyone was flying in to begin work again as we complete the 118th Congress. And we celebrated what is a new beginning, really, a new morning in America, a new day in America. And so today we began this morning, as Steve Scalise just told you, our majority leader, that we began with President Trump. And he came to visit us. It was a bit of a pep rally. Everybody feels very confident, very encouraged about the days ahead. and he gave us a very inspirational message, and he talked about the importance of maintaining unity and standing with this leadership team to go forward. It was very well received, and that set the tone for our day. And we had a very productive day together as a Republican conference. And the theme that you'll hear over and over from all of our members across the conference is that we are unified and energized and ready to go. We have to deliver for the American people beginning on day one in the new Congress, and we will be ready for that. I want to congratulate these new leaders that have been duly elected to help serve the conference. This is an extraordinary leadership team, and those who've been reelected who have earned those positions well. This was a group and a body today that worked together and did some really extraordinary things, putting together a leadership team and deciding upon our conference rules. I want to again tip my hat to the chairs of two of our most important and active caucuses within the Republican conference, the House Freedom Caucus, Dr. Andy Harris, Congressman Harris, and Congressman Dusty Johnson of the Main Street Caucus, who worked together with a subgroup of members to work through a very deliberate process to come up with the rules. So we come out of this excited to deliver the America First agenda for the American people. Like the majority leader said, we traveled all around the country. All of us did. We all campaigned for our colleagues throughout the year. And we felt the energy on the ground, as Steve said, and we took the temperature of the American people. We heard their concerns. We heard that no matter where you are in the country, north, south, east, west, the number one concerns were the cost of living, the wide open border, the instability on the world stage, the weakness that has gotten us into the most dangerous situation since World War II. They were worried about instability and insecurity, the radical, progressive, woke agenda. People have had enough of all that. And so we're going to deliver solutions to all those great challenges facing the country, and we're excited to do it. I know you're all tired of hearing my football metaphors, but we have a very well-designed playbook. We will begin to execute those plays with precision on day one. And so our new and incoming members, we're here for new member orientation. They were a part of all of this today, and we're preparing the players now to take that field beginning early in January when all this all begins again on January 3rd. So we'll wrap up the work at the 118th. We'll get that work done, and we'll move into the new Congress with excitement and delivering on the promises that we have made to the American people. We're grateful to be working in hand with President Trump and to take this energy into the new year. So we'll take a few questions. I know you have several. Yes, sir.
Speaker, thank you very much. While you were inside in your meeting, President Trump announced that he would nominate your colleague Matt Gaetz to be the next Attorney General of the United States. What do you make of that nomination, and how do you feel about his impending departure from the House?
Well, I talked with Matt immediately after that nomination was made. In fact, President Trump told me this morning when he walked in, we were behind the curtains. He tipped me off that would be happening. Matt and I were classmates. We came to Congress at the same time in the 115th Congress in January 2017. And alphabetically, we're seated right next to one another in Judiciary Committee. We served there together for 7 years. Some of y'all who cover Judiciary know those are long meetings. So I got to know Matt very well. Look, I'll say this. Everyone who served with him will tell you he's one of the most intelligent members of Congress. He's an accomplished attorney. He's very concerned about the lawfare that has been occurring in the Department of Justice under the Biden administration, and the fact that the American people have lost their faith in our institutions of justice because of everything that they've seen. He's a reformer in his mind and heart, and I think that he'll bring a lot to the table on that. I think out of deference to us, he issued his resignation letter effective immediately of Congress. That caught us by surprise a little bit, but I asked him what the reasoning was, and he said, well, you can't have too many absences. So under Florida state law, there's about an 8-week period to select and fill a vacant seat. And so by doing so today, that allows me, I've already placed a call to Governor DeSantis in Florida and said, let's start the clock. He's in Italy at the moment, and so we're going to talk first thing in the morning about this. And if we start the clock now, if you do the math, we may be able to fill that seat as early as January 3rd when we take the new oath of office for the new Congress. So Matt would have done us a great service by making that decision as he did on the fly, and so we're grateful for that. So we move forward. Look, I'll say this about, people have asked me all day long, President Trump is poaching all of your talent. Yes, we have an embarrassment of riches here. The Republican conference is full of talented people who are extraordinary leaders and have great expertise, and everyone in this Congress, in this conference, could serve in a leadership position in the administration. But I have begged and pleaded with the new president, enough already. Okay, but because our numbers are small, we are going to have the majority. We're celebrating that. I think it could be as high as a 5-seat margin, but we'll have some of these vacancies open as we begin the year. We'll fill them as quickly as possible, but we're excited for our colleagues to have these new career opportunities and new opportunities to serve the country. So we move forward. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You now have this big mandate, a trifecta. How you are going to assure American people that you're going to use this power responsibly and not misuse it?
Yeah. I'm glad you said the question was about the mandate that the American people have delivered us. It was an historic election. President Trump won the popular vote and the Electoral College by a very wide, decisive margin, and the House Republicans received as many votes. I think it's been many decades since House Republicans received as many collective votes over Democrats nationwide. So we do have the mandate. We take the responsibility seriously. You can make an argument that we're facing collectively as a nation the greatest collection of challenges that we've had probably since World War II, maybe the Civil War, some people say. So serious times call for serious leadership. It's going to be a policy agenda-driven administration and a Congress, and you've heard us say many times that it could be, I believe it will be, the most consequential Congress in the modern era, most consequential administration in the modern era, because frankly, we have to fix almost every area of public policy. So what it will be required of us is to plan deliberately and execute with precision, and that's what we're working on right now. We're going to deliver for the American people. We're going to bring down the cost of living. We are going to turn American energy dominance back on. We are going to secure the border. We're going to take care of our stature on the world stage to restore peace through strength again. And all of the things that are concerning people, from woke ideologies in the schools and a business place to all the other chaos that we've ensued with the rising crime rates and everything around the country, we have solutions for all that. And we had a demographic shift in this election. We had large groups of voters in different demographics that came into the Republican Party who had never been there traditionally in large numbers before. Our opportunity now is to embrace all those new folks who have come in and demonstrate for them that it is our policies that lead to human flourishing. These are the best policies for their individual benefit, their liberty, opportunity, and security, for their families, their communities, states, and our nation as a whole. So we are excited about that. We're excited to begin delivering, and you'll see a lot of action early in the Congress. Yes, ma'am.
Since you just broke the news that he resigned immediately, that means that the House Ethics Committee investigation to him does not have jurisdiction since he's no longer a member of Congress. Are you concerned about what, they were finishing up their work, there was going to be a report issued? Is that a concern to you that will now never see the light of day?
Well, it is true that former member of Congress, the House Ethics Committee, would have no further jurisdiction over that person, no further authority over them. So that would not be unprecedented. But as far as the timing of a release or report or something, I don't know. The Speaker of the House is not involved in that, can't be involved in that. So I'm not really the person probably to answer that question. So, yes, ma'am.
Is President-elect Trump considering the slim House majority when making these decisions about his cabinet? Is he listening to your concerns about that? And do you feel comfortable allowing the majority to go slimmer?
No, I'm not comfortable with that. No, look, President Trump and I have talked many times a day, every day, and with his transition team. I've spent a lot of time with Howard Lutnick, who is the co-chair of the transition team, with Linda McMahon and everyone involved. He is at Mar-a-Lago making lots of very consequential decisions, and I'm trying to be involved as many as I can, while I'm also trying to manage this Congress and plan for the next. I'm going to make a trip down there tomorrow evening for a gala for the America First Policy Institute, spend some time with them there, and then I've changed my plans to go down to Mar-a-Lago for the weekend so that I can be there while more of these decisions are being made. He's very aware of the margin, the size of the margin, but he has an administration to fill, a cabinet to fill, and he's keeping all this in mind at the same time. So we're both very aware of the margins and the size. Everyone in this room is keenly aware of it as well. And that's why we're emphasizing unity right now. And I'm very hopeful about that. I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. And I think we'll get these seats filled by, these are reliable Republican seats. We'll have very strong candidates presented who will win those elections in short order. And by early spring, we'll have these seats filled and we'll keep moving forward. So, yes, ma'am.
This will be the last question, guys.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, you just mentioned that Congressman Gates is resigning early. That will allow Florida to have a special election sooner. Congressman Waltz is also from Florida. Have you talked to him about doing something similar? Because that would apply to his seat as well.
Yeah, he's got to make his own determination on that. But of course, for the position that Congressman Waltz has been chosen for, he doesn't need Senate confirmation. So I assume that he'll be making that decision. I'll talk with him, of course, tonight and tomorrow about that to figure out the best timing. He's a team player as well, and he wants to do what's right for the conference and for the country, and I'm confident he will. He's going to do an extraordinary job in his position, as is Elise Stefanik, and I'm sure Matt Gaetz. I believe they'll all do very well. Now, there are others here who President Trump has interest in serving in other positions, and I said, please, sir, no. We have a great talent here. We're excited to work for that. Excited for this leadership team. This is a great group of people who are here to serve the country, and they're going to perform well for their constituents and for America. We're going to turn this country around, and we can't wait. Thank you so much for being here today. Bless you.